Hi, this is Pretty Kitty from PrettyKittyCommissions.com. Let's talk about why opportunity is terrifying. Yeah, isn't that crazy? Opportunity can be terrifying. But when I was thinking about why opportunities can feel anxiety inducing sometimes, I figured it out, I hope. Well, at least for me. There's two outcomes that can happen with an opportunity that's going through. You can fail, which is scary in its own right, but then the other outcome is you can succeed. So, of course, no matter what happens, everyone has that failure mentality, like, I don't want to fail. I don't want to have this project fall flat. I want to be able to make sure that I can do this right. And that's scary. It's terrifying. Someone comes to you and they say, you know what? Hi, I have a project for you and I want you to make this better. And it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure sometimes. And especially when you're first starting out, your first commission or your first paid project, that can be pretty anxiety inducing, a little bit tense. But once you finally get into your zone and you make that awesome project, you make it awesome, then you succeed and it becomes something great. Or if you do fail, you get to go back and realize, what did I do wrong? Why did this not work out for me? What's going on and what can I do to dissect it? And you're able to diagnose and see what happened and what you can do to make it not happen again. So the other half is you can succeed. And it's great to succeed. It's great to do that, but what if the situation becomes larger than what you're used to handling? For example, if someone comes up to me and I haven't done a children's book before, and someone says, I want you to illustrate this children's book, and someone comes up to me and says, hey, let's do this children's book together, and it becomes a super huge thing, like some ginormous project, and it's a huge success. What if I have to make another successful endeavor or another successful piece? It's interesting because we as illustrators, we have to understand that everything won't be a failure and every project won't be a success. And if a project is successful a couple of times, awesome, but you don't have to hold yourself up to that standard every single time. Think of it this way. There was this video I saw that every creative person needs to see and hear. It's called Finished, Not Perfect. Basically, if you finish your project, that's the only thing you need to worry about. Is your project finished and does your client like it? Awesome. Is it perfect? Maybe not. If we try and make things super perfect and we try to make things spit polished and shiny and 100% gift wrapped, then we'll never get anything done. We'll never get anything done. And getting that whole body of work is what we're trying to strive for a lot of us, for a lot of artists, but not everybody. And that's kind of why opportunity can be terrifying. Sometimes you might be like, wow, I have this awesome opportunity to do this book project, or I have this awesome opportunity to do a whole tarot card illustration. Or someone comes up to you and says, hey, I have this insert project, and it becomes a huge hit. And, there are different things that come with it. There are some legal things that come with it. For example, licensing, usage rights, things that a lot of artists aren't really trained on. Heck, sometimes I'm not 100% trained on it, but it's just kind of something that you would have to learn and something you'd have to make sure that you can be a little more familiar with. So let's talk about failure again. When it comes to failure, the best way to learn is to fail. And that sucks. It really sucks. I don't want to fail. I'll tell you right now, I don't want to fail. And I'm very sure you might not want to fail either. But unfortunately, that's the best way you can learn from mistakes. I'll give you a couple of tips really quick on how I deal with failure. For example, when a piece comes out, I finish a piece and the piece does not end up the way I wanted it to be. Or a piece comes out and it's okay, but there's a lot of other parts that I just don't like about it. I go through each piece, or I go through each part that I don't like, and I dissect what it is I don't like and how I can make it better in the future. Now, there's also another thing. In art, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. There is a such thing as do-overs. Yeah, I know, isn't that nuts? There's a such thing as do-overs. You can just redo the piece. Like, it's not going to kill you. You can redo the piece. So it doesn't matter if, you fail on one piece, because you can always just redo it. Or you can always revise it, depending on what medium you're working in. For digital, it's just a couple of Control-Z's. For painting, it's a couple of white gesso and paint over it. Colored pencil? We'll get on that when that comes in. But depending on your medium, you can always redo it. You can always go over it. You can always make something else out of it. A lot of people feel like they failed, and they haven't, and they've only just begun. I don't understand what it is about a lot of artists, but they'll look at a piece of artwork and they'll say, oh my God, this is terrible. I'm going to crumple it up. This is a terrible idea. But wait a minute, you only worked on it for like 4 hours. I feel like the best ideas come when you're actually doing. So yeah, failure, it really sucks. Really, really sucks. But it is the best way to learn. And I'm also secretly not doing this as a bit of a reminder to myself, but it is something that we as artists and illustrators and creatives do need to embrace failure. And even if that means create another word that means failure, maybe experimentation. Embrace experimentation. That experiment might not go right the first time, but you can always redo it, or you can always tinker with it to make it a little bit better. So I hope you enjoyed my little spiel about why opportunity can be terrifying, and I hope that you've gotten some value out of this. So I have a question for you. Have you backed out on any opportunities lately? Share with me in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, because I upload every Thursday. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you next week. Have a good one.